Welcome back, everybody. We are going to now create the axle peg. All right, so you'll notice a few things about this axle peg. It has a polygon on the top that we're going to be adding. It's got a chamfer on the bottom that we are going to be adding, and we're going to be doing the same thing that we just did with our other hitch pin, in that we're going to be creating the profile and then revolving it. So that revolve tool is becoming our friend. So create a new part studio, and let's start a sketch on our front panel. I'm going to click my sketch tool, and I'm going to click that front panel, zoom around. All right. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line straight up from on that center point on my y-axis, 1.125 inches straight up. All right, let's look back at our axle peg. All right, once we've gone straight up, I also need to come over. Okay, so I'm going to look right here. So I need to draw this line here, which is 0.125 inches. So I'm going to come up to that top, grab my line tool, come straight over 0.125, and I'm going to hit enter. Then I'm going to drag this out so that you guys can see my dimensions, because I want you to be able to find them. So I'm going to zoom in here. All right, so there you go. 1.125 up, 0.125 over. Going back here, down at the bottom, we're going to go over half of this distance, so 0.125, and then we're going to draw a line straight up 1 inch. All right, so I'm going to grab my line tool, come straight over 0.125, and then I'm going to come straight up, but I'm not going to come up there. I'm just going to come up and go 1 inch. All right. Coming back over here, I have to go over to the right now, 0.086. I'm going to draw a line over to the right, 0.086. And once I've done that, I'm going to drag this out so you guys can see it. We're going to go up a distance of 0.031. So I'm going to grab my line tool, straight up 0.031. Ooh, 0.031. There we go. And I'm going to grab that and pull it over here so you guys can see it. All right, last but not least, we need to add a 3-point arc right here. Okay, so our 3-point arc, we're going to do this the same way we did the last one. Our radius is 0.236. So I'm going to grab my arc tool, and I'm going to zoom in here. I'm going to click this top and come down here and click this, and then I'm going to give myself just a little bit of an arc, and I'm going to call this 0.236. And I got a whole bunch of red errors. It has been doing this to people all day long. So I'm going to escape out of that, delete that line, and we're going to try it again. Only we're going to try the same thing we did with the axle peg, to where instead of connecting it, I'm going to come down below it just a little bit and give it just a little bit of an arch, 0.236. And after I do that, I'm going to hit escape, grab that point and drag it up onto that one and let go, and it's going to fix itself. All right, whoops, you can't see that. So now I'm going to drag this out here. I'm going to drag this straight down for you. I'll bring this down and this in. All right, so there is the dimensions. So if you need to pause it right here so you have your dimensions, go right ahead. For everybody else, we're going to keep rocking and rolling. We're going to finish this sketch. I'm going to jump into isometric view, zoom in, get rid of my top, front, and right work panels, and I'm going to revolve. I'm going to revolve that around the long axis on the left, and we have a pretty good start to our, what is this thing? This is the axle peg. I'm going to go ahead and rename my part studio and call it axle peg. And I'm going to come over here and rename my part as well. Oops, needed to call that axle peg 2 because I've already got one. You just call it axle peg. All right, now we need to add a polygon on top of our peg. So I'm going to create a sketch, and I'm going to create a sketch. Whoops, wrong button. Create a sketch right on top of my part. Then I'm going to click my top view, and I'm going to look at my drawing real quick, and I'm going to notice that my polygon has a radius or a diameter of 0.18. So I'm going to grab my polygon tool. I'm going to click that center point. I'm going to drag straight down on that center line. I'm going to click. It's going to say, how many points do you want? It's automatically set to 6, so I'm going to click it because that's what I want. Choose my dimension tool right here, and I'm going to dimension from this point to this point, and I said that it was a dimension of 0.18. That's what we want. Once we've done that, we're going to finish the sketch, and we're going to jump into isometric mode. We are going to extrude. We're going to do a remove extrude, and we're going to remove 0.111 inches. So we're going to do an extrude, remove, click on our polygon, 0.111, and that's what we want. Last but not least, we are going to add the chamfer to the bottom. Now this chamfer is an angle. It says 0.030 by 45 degrees. So we've not used this tool before. We're going to spin our part up just a little bit so that we can see that bottom edge, and I'm going to grab my chamfer tool, which is right here. So I'm going to click that, and it gives us 3 options: equal distance, 2 distances, or distance and angle. We're going to choose distance and angle, and I'm going to set my distance to 0.030 and 45 degrees. Then I'm going to zoom in here, and I am going to select this outside edge, and when I do, it's going to chamfer it up. I'm going to hit my green checkbox, zoom back out, throw it into isometric mode, and we are done with our axle peg. We need to assign material. Again, the material we are using is PLA. Once we've done that, green check it, come over here, grab your color, and you are done with the axle peg, and we are on to the next.